Yeah, obviously tough one. You want to finish that thing on Sunday. Played a great one yesterday. Thought we pitched well enough to win today. Realistically, I thought we threw the ball really well. We made 3 mistakes on the day. I mean, we hung a slider in the first. They hit a homer. We left the fastball up there with the high fill off the bench, which we knew that dude likes to ambush stuff, and we just didn't quite execute it, and he didn't miss it. And then Reese gets a changeup up and didn't miss it. Like, there was no traffic on the bases. I mean, there was, with the exception of Heiberger's inning, really clean. We just made a couple mistakes, and the difference is, I mean, those balls left the yard, and that ends up being the game. I thought, I'll have to go back and look. I thought they threw the ball extremely well. And I'll go back and look to see if that's more them executing or if that's us missing stuff. We'll have to see, but it's electric stuff. I mean, Hungate's a really tough look. Williams just has electricity in his arm with a slamming breaking ball. Carson Lagone's got plus stuff. The question you always have with him is he going to command the zone or is he going to miss middle? And he didn't miss middle a lot today. And I thought we competed. We just weren't good enough offensively. We just felt like we couldn't get anything going. When we did set it up, we cashed in, but just felt like we couldn't get any consistency in there. And like I said, we'll go back and look and see if that's more of an us thing or if that's just pitch execution thing. So like I said, you want to finish that thing, especially here, but came up a little bit short. So time to regroup and get after a good UAB team on Tuesday.
Coach, some games when the other team hits 3 home runs, maybe the scoreboard is a little bit more skewed than it was today. What did you think about just the down-the-line pitching performance this afternoon and really just keeping you guys in the game?
Yeah, Faye was great, man. He lets a changeup up to Fry and he singles. Hung a slider to Reeves and he hits a pump, and then it was pretty dominant after that. I mean, just pitch execution, threw some really good cutters, threw some good sliders, was down in the zone with everything, threw some really good changeups. I thought he was great. Heiberger came in and did his job and was outstanding. Braylon Myers, you look at that pitch, I mean, I'll have to go back and look at it. I don't even think it was, I mean, it was up, which is what gets you, but it wasn't that bad of a pitch. The one before it's blacked out away, and that one just stayed up a little bit, and Highfield didn't miss it, but he was great. Ammo, same stuff, good stuff, just one changeup that stayed up, and Reese didn't miss it, and then Lehman came and got his guy, and all was great at the end. We pitched plenty good today, it's just, unfortunately, when their guys are throwing the way they were throwing, it was going to be a swing here or there, and they took 2 more than we did.
Kind of felt like offensively, 6 total base runners for the day. It kind of felt like you're getting behind in counts a good bit and kind of not able to get barreled much up often. Would you say like there's an approach issue there, or is it just the way it went?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and look, to be honest with you. We've been pretty good when guys miss, and we'll have to go back and see. Were we? I thought my biggest gripe without watching anything, just from in the moment stuff, is, man, like we just were not good in 3-2 counts today offensively. I felt like we probably, I don't know how many we had. I felt like there's probably 4 or 5 of them. And I feel like 3 of the 5, 4 of the 5, we left the zone and maybe got beat in the zone with 1. But we're just on the wrong side of those all day long. And that happens when you have stuff. I mean, when you're in there and it's 95, 97 with plus secondary stuff, especially when that secondary one comes out flat, it's not easy. But those are just some at-bats that we just didn't win. And it's amazing. You saw it, like, that was a pretty dominantly pitched game on both sides outside of 3 pitches, And so I think you look at that's what I got to go back and look at. I'll see if I felt like we were leaving the zone. I didn't feel like in the moment we were flailing. I thought, it's great that you might want to move on a strike 1 fastball, but if it's 96 on down and away on the black, you might as well take it. You can't hit it anyway. So I got to go back and look to see if we were doing that to where we just got beat, or if we were more missing in the zone on pitch we got to go get after, or if we were passive in those things. Those are things we'll go back and watch the game. We'll get a better feel for.
Hey, Coach, I know it wasn't an ominous start, but definitely not an ideal start, going down 2-0, and it seems like that's been a trend here lately, getting down, whether it be 2 or 4, nothing in the first frame. But then after that, it seems like the pitching kind of locks in a little bit. They look like a completely different guy from the second inning on. Have you talked to your starters about that? Like, hey, guys, locking in this first?
Oh, yeah, and believe me, they're locked in as can be. It's just sometimes it's execution, and baseball is just a cruel sport at times. Like, there's 7 times out of 10, Tyler Fay hangs that slider and they take it, or they hit an infield fly ball or a lazy fly ball, but they didn't in those things. And it's kind of seemed like what it's been. You go back to Auburn last week, Zane Adams is a changeup down away, down in the first from getting out in the first, giving 1 run. But he didn't, and he left it up. They hammered it, and all of a sudden 4 runs later you're in a hole. So, I think it's just like anything, man. You go in there and you start talking about, don't strike out, we can't strike out, you're going to punch 50 times. It's just the way to, hey, don't walk people, you're going to spray the ball and walk people. So, it's that fine line of are we locked in, are we prepared, what is it? And I think our guys, JJ has those guys ready to go. It's just a matter of executing early, and we've kind of run into a buzzsaw there in the fourth. So something we got to be a little bit better with, but those two pitches really in the first weren't the difference in the game, really. We just got to come out and be a little bit better.
You touched on Tyler Fay's performance today, and after he gets to the home run, he retires 10 straight batters. What was your kind of assessment? His first start of the year, like going forward on game 3, would he be the guy you look at? Or?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it and see. But I was happy with him. If you'd have told me he's going to go 4 innings, give up 2, I'd have taken that and said, let's ride. And you just wasn't quite, I guess, 3.1. But yeah, gave up 2 hits, and it was the first 2 hitters of the game, and he settled in and was great. So definitely an option as we move forward. We'll probably match some things up. Obviously, you got a Thursday series this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the next 2 weeks, really. So we'll take a look at LSU and see what the best matchup is, but he's definitely an option.
Coach, the top of that Mississippi State lineup really hits the ball hard, just for lack of a better way of putting it. What was the challenge that you saw in them, and really just that team as a whole?
Yeah, they just don't make mistakes. I mean, you make mistakes, they don't miss them. Fry's a really good player. They've been kind of searching for a position for him, but he's been one of their best hitters. Limo loves him, so he's been one of their best hitters all year. And he's just a little spark plug at the beginning. Reeves hadn't hit a homer coming in, hit 2 on the weekend, hit 1 on Friday, hit 1 today. But a good young player. Reeves, same thing. Just like you execute pitches, you can handle them. But if you don't execute pitches, they make you pay for it, and that's what good teams do, And like I said, we've done that to a lot of people this year. We've been on the other side of that game most times this year. We've got that big hit late, the pinch hit gets it done, and just felt like we couldn't quite get it. It felt like kind of today when it's like we were fighting, scratching, clawing just to kind of get back even with them. Then you get 2 quick outs and you're feeling good. Pinch hitter comes in, you're 1-1 count, you're feeling pretty good about it. And then you look up and you take a drink of water and look up and the ball's going off the scoreboard. So, like I said, you credit them because when they made a mistake, we weren't able to capitalize. And when we made some mistakes, the difference was 3 homers.
Baseball's not really a game where you can kind of just look at the scorecard and you just put up 3 runs, so you didn't have a good offensive day. But like a weekend like this where you go 3, 4, 2, what's the message? Like when the results aren't there exactly, like that you come away with the series from to your players.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told every single person coming in how good that team was, particularly their pitching staff. Like that's an elite level pitching staff. Justin Parker's done a great job with those arms in his time in Starkville. I think so mmany people follow college baseball at like the 30,000-foot level, and they see a team that's coming into today is 21-14 and 5-10 in the league, and it's like, oh, they suck. And that's the normal thing. These guys aren't any good. Go stand in the box against those guys, and you'll see how good they are. Go on the other side and try to execute pitching, you'll see how good they are. And this league is all about who's playing good at the right time, who's healthy at the right time. They came out of the gauntlet and had some weird things. They played 2 7-inning games against Texas, which is just a weird thing on a getaway day because of weather. They played at LSU and were starting those games at 10 o'clock at night. Just some weird things. But I told you guys that. I said that in our kind of pregame thing on Thursday. Like, I watched a lot of stuff, and I know how good that team is. I mean, that bullpen is electric, and it's just plus stuff. You knew the starters had a chance to be really good. And so you looked at it and kind of put Friday's game to the side. We played terrible in all facets of the game on Friday. And then you played 2 really good games. And that's what you knew these games were going to be. And it was going to boil down to a pitch, a hit, and a bat. And like I said, they won 2 more of those than we did today.
Couple more? Any more? All right, thanks all.